Hello, I hope everyone's doing well. Today I'm here to talk about piracy, mortgage fraud, and insurance fraud. So, first, talking about piracy, my summary definition is a form of theft that is done by pirates commonly on ships. These pirates hijack and ransack anything that is valuable on these ships. So, basically, as I was reading through the chapter, I noticed that piracy is most commonly done on ships, most commonly done in the ocean, and it is typically not a collected attack on like a nation or anything like that. It's typically just an attack in certain areas of the sea. Um, I've noticed that pirates tend to target ships and individuals that they feel like are easy to manipulate and easy to get into. Um, I decided to apply Merton's theory of anami to this one because it relates to this crime and because it has the ability to access the goals and the means given are unequal. Mostly, I believe that the reason that these pirates are attacking these ships are probably due to the fact that they are not able to achieve their goals, their financial goals, and that is why they resorted to crime. That is why they resorted to um, financial gain done by stealing. So, like I wrote here, pirates may tend to commit acts of crime against others due to the unequal strain of goal versus achieving the goal. The pirates may tend to um, go after these people because they feel like they want to achieve some sort of financial independence, but it's unable to happen due to their cultural background, due to their economic background, due to whatever background they're coming from. Um, they could possibly want to gain financial gain and independence and are unable to do due to their economic status, and this would cause them to rely on crime. So piracy, I feel like, is a crime out of um, responsibility or a crime out of liability that people tend to participate in due to their own economic status and economic hardships. And I feel like these pirates probably commit these crimes on others because of their inability to achieve due to the means that they are able to achieve their goals under. So the next one I'll be talking about is mortgage fraud. So mortgage fraud is the falsification of paperwork or identity documents to gain a home or money from a home. I feel like this was a very brief summary of everything that I read about the mortgage fraud in the chapter, but a more expansive summary would be that mortgage fraud, I believe, is basically just others being homeowners being taken advantage of, whether it is by the insurance or not the insurance, the lenders themselves, whether it is by the person who's selling the home. Um, as I was reading, some examples of mortgage fraud would be like underselling the home or um, doing fraud, which would be okay, this is the value of the home, but then that's not the actual value, overselling the home. Um, there are many different examples of mortgage fraud. It could be charging more for the home. It could be there not being a home at all and it being sold. And I decided to apply radical theory to mortgage fraud because it is represented by the control of power by the government or higher class. And I said this is seen by the control of home buyers by the government and their mortgage lenders. Mortgage fraud by lenders is sometimes overlooked due to the power struggle in government. The middle or lower class being more susceptible to fraud also represents this theory. I feel like mortgage fraud, even though it is becoming more common, even though it is something that is becoming more um, notable and the government is paying more attention to it, I feel like it was overlooked for a long time because it was controlled by the lenders and government officials who were, it was government property, homes, and things of that nature. I feel like it was overlooked a lot, and that is why people were able to get away with selling the homes the way they were and committing mortgage fraud the way that they were because of that. Um, and when I was saying that seen by the control of home buyers by the government and mortgage lenders, was because these mortgage lenders also feel like because they're the ones lending the mortgage out, they're the ones that set the price. I feel like they believe that they can commit fraud because they're the ones setting the price. They're the ones basically setting the pace. So they feel like it's okay for them to commit fraud, or they will be able to get away with fraud because of the power that they hold. The last topic that I like to cover is insurance fraud. So basically, insurance fraud is the manipulation of policyholders, their premiums, and the insurance policies themselves. So basically, these policyholders, or um, the insurance company themselves, rather, tend to manipulate the policyholders and the premiums that they hold by charging too much for the premiums, or doing fraud on the other side of the premiums as the business holders. Um, the policyholders themselves can commit fraud by staging an accident or staging a crime, or a disaster, anything like that that would cause them to gain money from, or purposefully gain money from destroying their property and their homes. I decided to apply radical theory, and this is represented by the control of power by the government or higher class. Insurance fraud done by insurance companies represents an unequal idea of power. Those committing insurance fraud also take advantage of the government institutions due to this power inequality. And I feel like this disruption of power, this unequalness of power, especially when it comes to insurance fraud, these insurance companies, or the businesses that are over these insurance companies, have a tendency to manipulate these policyholders by overcharging or committing corporate fraud. And in these instances, it can cause an unequal balance of power because those who are middle class or lower class, or those who are policyholders themselves, might find themselves unaware of this fraud due to the fact that they're trusting the people that are in power over them, who are giving them these policies. So I feel like radical theory definitely relates to insurance fraud because of this unequal presence of power. Thank you.